A year ago, I came across an article on Bloomberg about something called zero-knowledge proof. I never heard about that. I work in finance. I never built anything on blockchain. I almost let it go.
Last year, I had an interesting conversation with my brother. He mentioned about this new blockchain technology called Midnight Network. To be honest, he didn't get my full attention at the beginning, since from all the blockchains I have heard, none of them got the adoption I was waiting for.
But I opened it. I am Angelica Rojas, and I spent more than 8 years across mining, energy, tech, agribusiness. Every sector with data that's both essential and sensitive. I did my MBA in finance in Germany. None of it was blockchain. The more I read, the clearer it got. Midnight is an infrastructure for everyone who needs shared things they can publish. That's a problem I'll be working on my whole career, just from a different angle.
But I listened, and I did my research. My name is Ivan Romero. I'm an electronic engineer, and I did my master in renewable energy. During my last 5 years in my PhD, I have been trying to build a network where rovers, drones, sensors, actuators, and people can actually negotiate without the need of a middleman, and also without revealing any sensitive information. I have looked at so many blockchains. They have solved this trust issue, but all our information is public. For machine sending private data, this is not a solution. This is totally a failure. Midnight Network, on the other hand, is the first blockchain that didn't ask me to choose between privacy and trust.
Today, I am a leader in the Nightforce community.
And I'm part of the Aliit Fellows. And now I'm building in a technology that I have been waiting my whole life.
And this is what happened in between.
Hi everyone! Welcome back to the Midnight Developer Workshop series. This one is a little different from the previous tool-focused episodes. Instead of talking about a tool, we are going to talk about people, the community behind Midnight. I am Angelica.
And I'm Ivan. Angelica leads part of the Nightforce Ambassador Program. I'm a fellow in the Aliit Developer Fellowship. Over the next hour, we're going to walk you through what those two programs are, who they are for, and the part we're most excited about, how we think they could work together. Let's go.
Here's what we'll cover. First, what Nightforce is. That's the Ambassador Program, and it's for people who don't write code. Second, what Aliit is. That's the Developer Fellowship, and it's for people who do. Third, where the two programs fit in the bigger Midnight community. Fourth, 7 concrete ideas for how they could work together. And fifth, exactly where to click if you want to join.
Even if you have never written a line of code in your life, this video is for you. And if you have, there's a path for you too. Nobody gets left out today. Even we imagine 4 kinds of people watching this. First, the newcomer. You have heard the word Midnight somewhere, maybe privacy blockchain, and you're not sure where to begin. Second, the ambassador. You're already doing Nightforce stuff. You want to get better at onboarding friends.
Third, the builder. You write code. Your scope is the Aliit Fellowship. You want to know if it's worth applying. And fourth, the connector. You run local meetups or groups and you want Midnight to show up in your region. Whichever one you are, stick with us.
If this is your first episode, quick recap. Midnight is a Cardano partnerchain built by IOG, the team behind Cardano. Cardano stake pool operators help produce its blocks. It's designed around privacy, specifically using zero-knowledge proof. The simple way to think about it, You can prove something is true without revealing the data behind it. 2 tokens. Night carries value and governance. Dust pays the fees on private transactions. Mainnet is live right now. Real users, real dApps, real builders. The ecosystem is young. And honestly, that's exactly what makes it a great time to join.
Why community matters so much for a chain like this. A meme coin spreads through noise. A privacy-first network doesn't work that way. It spreads through trust, through relationships, through someone you know taking the time to explain it. You cannot just make an adoption by doing tweets. It is important for the adoption of a technology that people understand it before they can trust it. They need storytellers who explain privacy in plain language, and you need builders who show that tech actually works. Both, always both.
And that's exactly why Midnight didn't build one program, it built 2. Blue doors. On the left, Nightforce, the ambassador program, the storytellers, the non technical path. You explain it in plain language, you translate it, you organize the room around it, you amplify what's working. On the right, Aliit, the developer fellowship, the builder path. You ship the protocol work, you write the tutorials and docs, you speak in developer rooms, you mentor the next cohort. Same family, different doors.
Which brings us to how each of us walked through our own door. Let us introduce ourselves properly. Before we dive into the programs, we want you to know who's actually on the other side of this camera. We both got into Midnight from different places. If you don't see yourself in one of our stories, you might see yourself in the other. I'm from Peru. I work in finance. I studied accounting at Universidad del Pacífico. I spent more than 8 years across energy, mining, tech, and agribusiness companies, and did my MBA in finance at HHL Leipzig in Germany. I now work in the finance department at a leading software company, where I also serve as AI advocate. I want to be really clear. I had zero blockchain experience when I first heard the word Midnight. My day job was about finance, cash forecasting, FX hedging, refinancing debt. If you are sitting there thinking, this work is not for me, I'm living proof that it can be. When I joined the first ambassador cohort, the program didn't even have a name yet. We picked Nightforce together in those first weeks. I had never used Discord. I had never heard of Silly. I reactivated my X account just to post about Midnight. Between my job and my MBA, I worked on weekends, writing, sharing, interviewing friends. I started as alpha level. Then I got invited to a workshop with Charles Hoskinson. This incredible experience led me level up to the Bravo. Additionally, I presented some incredible proposals, which we will cover in this presentation. And after interviews with people leading the community, I got the news that I had been selected as a Nightforce Leader. The reason I stuck with it, I truly believe in the technology.
My background is electronic engineering, bachelor at Pontificia Universidad Católica del Perú. Then I did a master in renewable energy in Sweden. Then a PhD on topics related with IoT in Germany. The thread running through all of it is humanitarian and public good infrastructure. Web3 is just a tool. The goal is to achieve a network where drones, rovers, sensors, actuators, and people can interact and negotiate without the need of a middleman for trust, and also keeping private any sensitive information. I entered Web3 through Cardano. I wrote Catalyst Fund 14 and 15 proposals on sensor data networks. The realization for me was that Web3 is not only about finance. It's a coordination layer for actors that don't trust each other. And Midnight was the first stack where privacy made my use cases actually buildable. Public-only chains couldn't carry humanitarian and civic use cases. Midnight can. Now, I'm fully stack and blockchain at Ada Labs. We build the machine-to-machine economy with sovereign cryptographic identity and zero-knowledge proof for negotiation. And I joined the Aliit Fellowship, the technical community. Okay, we have told you who we are. Now, let's go deeper. 20 minutes inside the two programs. Nightforce first, then Aliit. By the end of this section, you should know which door is yours.
Nightforce, the Ambassador Program. If you tell stories, translate, organize, or amplify, the next 10 minutes are for you. This is the door I walk through, and I'm going to tell you exactly what's on the other side. Nightforce is the official Midnight Ambassador Program. The official language is a global initiative for volunteers dedicated to advocacy and ecosystem visibility. In plain English, it's the bridge between the Midnight Foundation and the public. It's the people who explain, translate, organize, and amplify. The mission word is rational privacy. That's what every ambassador commits to. Privacy is a reasonable default, not a simple position. Read this carefully. You don't need to code. That's not a soft pitch. It's confirmed. Content creators, writers, video makers, podcasters, translators, bring midnight into Spanish, Portuguese, French, Hindi, Mandarin. Organizers, local meetups, university clubs, regional events. Moderators, Discord, forum, community chats, keeping the vibe healthy. And the fifth one we want to highlight curious professionals, finance, design, operations, education, anyone drawn to where new technologies are heading. If any of those sounds like you, this is your door. What ambassadors actually do? A normal week, silly quests, daily check ins, share posts, invite friends, forum threads, ask, answer, teach, social amplification, X, LinkedIn, YouTube, Reddit, Discord, and universities. Blog posts and translation in your language, and local meetups. Small is fine. You just have to start. None of this is glamorous of the first day. It all adds up. That's the real strategy. How you join? It's actually simple. 1. Fill the ambassador interest form. That's the door. 2. The team reviews in cohorts. Applications are open right now as we record. 3. If accept, you get a welcome session, onboarding, your badge, and your people. That's it. The form is short. The review is human. Check the page for the exact window. The cohort number changes between filming and posting. My honest opinion, based on my experience. A typical week involves 1 or 2 hours on weekdays evening, with bigger pushes on weekends. Don't try to do everything. Pick one thing you can do well. Start small. One post a week is fine. Find your lane. Writing, speaking, organizing, translating. Ask questions on Discord. No one will laugh, I promise. And most importantly, don't disappear. Being present matters more than being brilliant. That's what I wish someone had told me on day one.
Aliit, the Developer Fellowship. If you write code, the next 10 minutes are for you. This is the door I walk through, and I'm going to tell you exactly what's on the other side. Aliit, it's Midnight Selective Technical Fellowship. The official tagline. It recognizes builders who embody what a privacy-first ecosystem demands. Depth and generosity in sharing knowledge. That last word, generosity, is really important. You can be technical, but you also have to teach. If you ship great code and never explain it to anyone, this isn't your program. Who fits? Protocol engineers and zero knowledge researchers. open source maintainers, technical educators and tutorial writers, hackathon winners with cheap code. And read the bottom of the slide carefully. Social reach alone doesn't qualify. Twitter followers don't count here. You need hands-on technical contribution, commits, circuits, libraries, teaching material that actually work. This is not a soft sell. Aliit is selective. 4 fellow personas. The builder, ships protocol work, libraries, the apps, commits land on GitHub. The educator, writes tutorial, docs, run workshops that help other ramp. The advocate, gives talk, makes video, represent Midnight in developer spaces. The community leader, runs event, supports the developer channel, mentors new builders. You can wear multiple hats. Most fellows do. Self-report monthly with a short GitHub summary. That's the lightweight check-in rhythm. The first cohort, late 2025, multiple fellows across 11 countries. The first cohort shipped foundational privacy tooling that the rest of the ecosystem now stands on. If you want to see what the first cohort built, you can visit the Awesome the App repository in GitHub. What is the headline? Real builders, real countries, real code. What is the progress? You start as a candidate, about 2 months. Here, you show your skills and deliver useful code. Then, you can be selected as a formal Aliit Fellow, which has 3 levels. Tier 1, around 4 months. Tier 2, around 6 months. And finally, Tier 3. My honest take from inside. Being a fellow means you're basically an extension of the foundation team. That's the actual framing. It's lightweight but real. Monthly GitHub summaries, the Discord developer channel, a few commits, 1 tutorial, or 1 talk. 4 pieces of advice. Ship something small before you apply. A tutorial, a small app, a pull request to existing repository. Be active in the developer channel. Help someone else pull requests before your own. And don't apply with just a GitHub profile. Apply with a contribution. That's the difference. Zoom out. Both programs share the same front door. Everyone, every fellow, every ambassador start in the same 4 places. Academy, to learn. Discord, to meet. Silly, to engage. Forum, to deepen the conversation. You don't have to pick a lane on day 1. You start at the front door and the lane reveals itself. This is important. You cannot pick wrong here. Just show up at the front door and the right path becomes obvious.
6 steps in the journey. Discover. That's you right now watching this video. Learn. The Midnight Academy walks you through 6 stages from zero knowledge basics to full stack. Engage. Silly quests, Discord, forum threads. Pick your lane. Nightforce, Aliit, or both over time. Build or advocate. You ship code, you write posts, you organize. And lead. Nightforce Leader. Aliit Tier 2 or 3. Mentoring others. And the most important thing about this journey, you can move between lanes. A Nightforce ambassador who picks up code can graduate into Aliit. An Aliit fellow who loves community work can become a Nightforce partner. There is no hard wall.
Quick, good check before we move on. If you say to yourself, I don't code, I want to explain, translate, organize, amplify, that's the storyteller door, Nightforce. If you say, I write code, I want to build, teach, advocate in developer spaces, that's the builder door, Aliit. And if you don't know yet, start with Chile and Discord. The answer becomes obvious in a few weeks. Now, the part we're most excited about, the hands-on.
Together, the privacy stack people can actually adopt. The next 7 slides are concrete, not slogans. Think we could literally start next month.
The thesis: a privacy ecosystem needs both storytellers and builders, working side by side. Builders alone, great code nobody understands. Storytellers alone, great stories with no substance. Together, the privacy stack people can actually adopt. The next 7 slides are concrete, not slogans. Things we could literally start next month. Idea 1: per projects. Every flagship Aliit app gets a Nightforce partner from day one. The Aliit Fellow builds the app, writes the technical readme, records the demo video. The Nightforce ambassador writes the story, translates it, runs the social thread, answers questions in the community. They ship together. They get credit together. Neither walks alone. A app without a story dies quiet. A story without a app dies fast. Pair them and both problems disappear.
Idea 2: translate workshops. Aliit Fellows record the technical workshops in English. Nightforce ambassadors localize them. For example, Spanish for Latam and Spain, Portuguese for Brazil and Portugal, Hindi for South Asia, Japanese for East Asia, and from there, every other language a Nightforce member speaks fluently. And translation is not just text, it's cultural framing. A Spanish speaker in Buenos Aires reads zero knowledge differently than someone in Madrid. Localizers are real contributors.
Idea 3: regional hubs. Local meetups where a Nightforce ambassador organizes the room and an Aliit Fellow presents the technical content. Start tiny. A room of 15 people who actually build real things beats a Twitter space of 500 who don't. The foundation likes these types of ideas. It's just waiting for someone to organize.
Idea 4: a privacy explainer channel. A joint 2-minute video series. Nightforce writes the script in family and friends language. Aliit provides the demo. 1 per week. Sample episodes. What is a zero knowledge proof? Why would a privacy change matter for a farmer? How does Night differ from a regular crypto token? Put my health data live on midnight? Size scripts, real demos, 2 minutes each. That's exactly the gap I feel in my role as AI advocate at a leading software company, translating the hard stuff into language that lands.
Idea 5: a mentorship ladder. Aliit Fellows host weekly office hours on compact basics. Nightforce ambassadors amplify them by bringing along curious non-developers. The non-developers ask the free and general questions in a safe space. No gatekeeping. That means a lot of weekly teaching bandwidth.
Idea 6: join docs reviews. 2 eyes, 2 lenses. Clear docs. Nightforce reads the docs as non-developers and flags every sentence that needs a developer to explain it. What does shield coin mean? What does circuit mean? What does zero knowledge proof mean here? Then, Aliit verifies the technical accuracy of the rewrite. Nothing oversimplifies its way into being wrong. I do this kind of work all the time. A finance person reading docs that engineers wrote for engineers. It's how I became AI advocate. Cleaner docs mean faster onboarding and fewer "how do I?" questions in Discord.
Idea 7: share events with the same pattern as on the London Summit. Nightforce runs the community track. Aliit runs the Builder track. Share keynotes bring both rooms together. We both live this at the London Summit. We can tell you without any doubt that it works. And the structure could also scale down. It doesn't need to be hundreds of people. A 30-person meetup with the same two-track structure works as well. Same pattern, a smaller room. Okay, 7 ideas. We are not going to pretend we will start all of them at once. But here's the one thing we want to start as soon as possible. A monthly Builder Times storyteller per app thread on the Midnight Forum, starting this month. Every month, one Aliit Fellow plus one Nightforce ambassador per app on a post, a translation, a DApp explainer, or a meetup. Public threads, public credit. Watch the forum. If you want to be in the first pairing, just reply. That's the entire commitment. Concrete, small, real. Now it's on you. Let's make it as easy as possible. The next 2 slides are the only 2 URLs you need.
If you are the storyteller, if you want to explain, translate, organize, amplify, this is your door. Go to Midnight Network. Fill the interest form. The team reviews in cohorts. We'll see you in there. And if you want to know what to do this week before you even apply, get on Silly and start the quests. It's the front door.
If you are a builder, if you write code and you want to ship, teach, advocate in developer spaces, this is your door. Go to Midnight Network Aliit. Read the page carefully. And the one piece of advice I want you to walk away with, ship something small first, then apply. A tutorial, a small DApp, a pull request to one of the existing repos. Apply with a contribution, not a profile. That's the difference. Resources. Bookmark this. Midnight Network for the main site. Academy Midnight Network for the 6th stage learning path. The Discord invite is in the description. Forum Midnight Network for the ongoing conversation. Silly.io. Search Midnight. That's the front door quest system. GitHub. Look for Midnight Awesome the apps if you want to see what's been built. And Dev2 Midnight Aliit. The Fellow's ongoing publications where new writings lands weekly.
And if any of these resonated, find us. I am Angelica Rojas, Nightforce Leader. On X, I am AngieBT_EE. My DMs are open in the Midnight Discord. Just search Angie and say hi. If you are the storyteller, the translator, or the organizer in your community, please reach out. I want to hear from you.
I'm Ivan Romero, Aliit Fellow and collaborator at EDA Labs. My DMs are open in the Midnight Discord. Find me there. My goal is to help the Midnight community, so do not hesitate to ask me whatever you want. The idea is to grow all together as a team. One more thing before we close. Look at this slide. You can see a photo of the 2 of us in the Midnight Summit, which took place in UK in 2025. We met the Midnight community there, and believe me, it was one of the best communities I have ever seen. If you have watched this to the end, you already belong here. Reach out, pick a door, and just say hi in Discord. We will meet you there. There's no entrance exam to belonging. There's just showing up. Thanks for watching.